So, I actually just finished reading John Carter of Mars. The first book is called A Princess of Mars, and that book was actually really fun to read. How this book starts out is it's all in first person, so it's just like writing a journal to about the events. And I find that really interesting. I am trying to understand how I feel about Edgar Rice before I started reading this, and I was like, holy crap, this guy's a really fun writer. The way he writes, just just the way he writes is just so interesting. And his book came out in, like, I think it was the 20s or 30s. I could be wrong. Please correct me down below if I'm wrong, or maybe I'll just Google it. But I was really impressed with this whole book. So I needed a palate cleanser. I'm in the middle of reading book 4, The Wheel of Time, and I was feeling really like burnt out reading that book. So I decided to pick up John Carter because A Princess of Mars is like 180 pages, something like that. And I didn't realize how much I'm gonna actually enjoy this book. Because for one, it's like older, so I just didn't know how the writing style was gonna be, but the way he writes is really good. And the book actually opens up pretty straightforward. So John Carter is in Arizona. It's during the 1890s, during like the gold rush era, and he is trying to get rich essentially. Like, John Carter wants to make millions of dollars. Obviously, millions of dollars during the 1890s is a lot of money. And him and his friend decided to go out to start mining. They went out there and they got attacked. Well, his buddy got attacked first, and then he went after to rescue him. They got attacked by the natives in Arizona. He grabbed his buddy that was already dead and brought him into a cave. And what happened is, like, it's weird how he explains it, because, like, in my head, I'm like, what really happened? I always thought it was like a portal, and that's kind of what it was. Like, he went to a cave and he was getting chased, and then all of a sudden, like, he wakes up a whole different world. Like, I'm trying to understand, I'm trying to explain the whole, like, gist of it. And, like, he wakes up on Mars. And the thing is that he does John Carter wakes up on Mars, is there's a few things that you knows differently. Because how it works on Mars is, like, he's lighter in Mars. The gravity is different on Mars than it is on Earth, I guess. And he's, like, he's kind of like a superhero, essentially, on Mars. Like, he can jump hundreds of feet up in the air, and he's lighter than all the rest of the Barsoons on there. And I'm really impressed with just how he explains how John Carter learns rather quickly of how he becomes stronger and how he can, like, all of his abilities and stuff. And another thing that was really interesting in this book is John Carter actually, how he communicates with the people of Mars is you can speak with your minds, but he can read their minds, but they can't read his. And he always kept that a secret, so they actually never knew what his thoughts were, but he could actually always read their thoughts to know if they're going to plot and try and kill him, which is actually a really cool concept. I haven't read enough books in my life to read concepts like that, and I found this one really interesting, and it's just a fun read. And his story is about an adventure, and it's also about love, because then he meets the Princess of Mars, and her name is Dija. I'm really sorry if I mispronounce the names, because sometimes when you're reading the books, you're like, how the heck do you just pronounce that? But I think it's Dija Tomas. I could be wrong. Let me know down below. That'd be really helpful. Anyway, so you meet her, and it's just so interesting of the way he writes these characters. So there's a part in the book where he saves her life, and he then tells her after, he's like, yeah, well, in some parts of the world, if a man saves a woman from death, it means that they can get married. And she got, like, really mad about it. And you actually learn towards the end of the book that she says, like, yeah, you're not actually supposed to do that. You're supposed to actually ask the woman for their hand in marriage, not just save her and then expect her to get married. So I thought that was a really interesting thing to read. And just how the two of them interact, it was actually like very well done, especially for less than 200 pages for this book. Like I said, the book's like 180 pages, and I thoroughly enjoyed what was on the pages. I thought it was really fun and just really impactful. And I think what I'm gonna do, maybe for the rest of the year, I might read the other 4 of the series, because like I said, almost every book out of the series is like 180 pages. Quick palate cleansers. I read the book in a day. Pretty fun read. And now I'm getting back into the wheel time, so hopefully soon I'll do a Shadow Rising video. Who knows? But anyways, that's the video. I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. Check out all my links down below. That would be really awesome if you guys do. And, of course, make sure you guys stay safe, stay hungry, and tell someone you love them. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.